Richmond, Virginia is the site for the opening match of the USL Summer of Soccer as USL League One takes center stage. Richmond midfielder Adrian Billhart is a League One veteran who has scored a team-high 4 goals for the Kickers and will look to continue that tonight. For Madison, forward Juan Galindrez has a flair for the dramatic as the Mingos look for a road win. The Henny Derby is next. This is the USL on CBS Sports tonight from Richmond, Virginia. A clash in USL League One. It's the Richmond Kickers and forward Madison. It's always a special occasion when Madison and Richmond clash because it's the Henny Derby, a celebration of black culture. This Henny Derby created by both supporters groups. This is the 16th all-time meeting. And with that, we welcome you into City Stadium with the former pro striker Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm Josh Eastern. For the Richmond Kickers, it's been a tough start to this season, but for forward Madison, unbeaten in 9 to start this regular season, what has been the key to their success?
I think you look at this forward Madison side, and it starts with the back. A team that's only conceded 6 times. In doing that, Josh, now you let the players higher up the field express themselves and be the game changers that they are.
Well, the Richmond Kickers, they are a team that is rooted in history in American soccer, the oldest annually running American soccer club. They have had success at each and every level in the USL, and now they are looking to continue that here in 2024, but it's been a bit of a slow start for the Richmond Kickers. They've yet to kick on with just 2 wins.
For this kicker side, it's all about being clinical in front of the net and efficiency because they have a lot of talent on that front line. But now for Darren Sawatsky, the first 10 to 15 minutes, how quickly can you get in a rhythm and how clinical can you be and feed off of this fantastic atmosphere that we're going to have here at City Stadium?
For forward Madison, head coach Matt Glazer talked so much about the defense, but it's the second most goals in the league that have them where they are in the table.
And it's all about flexibility for this forward Madison side, the ability to show different looks, whether it's a 1 striker, whether it's 2 strikers up front, the talent does never waver. The question is how quickly can they settle in and play spoiler here because you know defensively they're going to be sound, but now how do you spoil the party?
We are building you up to first kick tonight from City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia. The Henny Derby, it's always a fun one between the Richmond Kickers and forward Madison. We'll have lineups and first kick on the way next from Richmond. Welcome back to City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia, building you up to first kick in USL League One. It's the Richmond Kickers and Forward Madison. A chance to look at tonight's starting lineups. We'll start with the Richmond Kickers, a 3-4-3 for Darren Sawatsky, but it might not always look like this for the Kickers.
You look at this Richmond Kickers side of 3-4-3, but you're looking at Terzaki. He's going to stay high, but make no mistake about it, Josh. He might pop in to that middle of the park, and you might see Billhart and Pineda make those runs down the channel, testing Forward Madison in that back line.
For head coach Matt Glazer, a 4-4-2 tonight. You don't always see a 4-4-2 anymore, but you're looking at the midfield for this Forward Madison side.
Villalobos and Macias, what does that relationship look like? Villalobos might pop in a little bit deeper, so Macias has the ability to go and search the game. Cheney, he's going to stay high. He's going to occupy the center back. And you look at Gebhardt, he's going to be the one filling the gaps while they're making those runs from left to right. I do think for Forward Madison, that back line, compact and let your players hype the field, get on the ball.
Forward Madison head coach Matt Glazer in his second season in charge of Forward Madison, trying to get back on track after a 2-0 loss to Knoxville in the Jägermeister Cup. That was over the weekend. For Richmond, Darren Sawatsky, his 5th season as Richmond head coach. As we talked about, just 2 wins so far this year in the regular season, but they're coming off a dramatic 2-2 draw against the Charlotte Independents last time out, also in the Jägermeister Cup. And we are just about set for kickoff tonight. Our referee is Rafael Santos. It's the Richmond Kickers in red. It's Forward Madison in white. There's the whistle, and we are underway from City Stadium. The Richmond Kickers and Forward Madison. Two sides that know each other well. The 16th all-time meeting between Richmond and Madison. But it is Madison that has had the success, and they've also had some success in Richmond. They have won 4 times all-time here at City Stadium. And as Darren Sawatsky talks about, you see this atmosphere and the smoke. That's what they want to create. They want to create a home fortress. It hasn't quite been that for the Kickers so far this year. But they do have an attacking throw-in seconds into this game. It's a long throw here, headed down by Kroll. And Gebhardt will get this out to midfield. Devin Boyce trying to provide some pressure as it's all the way back for Pablo Jara. 8 wins all time for Madison. They've won half of or more than half of the meetings between these two sides. But right now it is Madison that is the team that is in the better form of the two sides as Richmond earns another early free kick. That's Ferdi Sosa committing the foul for Madison.
That's a different look for the Kickers now. Terzaki is going to play as a false number 9, so don't be surprised if you see him pop into the hole. Look to combine with Vigneault's 2 players that want to get on the ball, that want to really have combination play in central locations. So now if you're Osman and Mel, the 2 center backs for Forward Madison, passing players off and communication is going to be key here today.
Adrian Billhart, one of those standing around this. The other one is Antonio Pineda. This will be Billhart to serve it in. The clearing header. And maybe a chance now to counter for Forward Madison. It's a foul as Gebhardt is brought down. Madison coming into this game. That loss against Knoxville ended a club record 8 games unbeaten. That was 7 wins and 1 draw. It was their first loss since April 28th against Lexington. Their only 2 losses have come in the Jägermeister Cup, which is a new cup competition in USL League One. 12 teams in USL League One. And in the Jägermeister Cup, they're split into 3 groups of 4. A top team in each group will advance on, along with the best second-place team. But in the regular season, this is where Madison has really flourished. 5 wins in their opening 9, one of the best starts in club history. Another header away. But the story here in Richmond with Darren Sawatzky, since winning that Players' Shield back in 2022, this is a team that has gone very young. They've used a lot of academy players, including one that is in the lineup tonight in Griffin Garnett, this 17-year-old from right here in Richmond. So you have that experience with Emiliano Terzaghi, who is making his first start of 2024 in all competitions, the 3-time MVP. But Darren Sawatzky is now looking for some of those young players to mesh with the older veteran players and find some results.
I think it's not going to be an easy thing, especially against this forward Madison side, Josh, who kind of the opposite, have experienced players that have had success, whether it's at the championship, but also USL League One. So it's going to set up for a really interesting tactical battle, mental battle, and how do you fare with this hostile environment? Because you know at City Stadium, they're waiting for this game, especially with how tightly contested their matches have been, disliked between both clubs.
Cheney down the line, it's Derek Gebhard in an early save from Harap. First shot of the game, here's Payne to put it back in the middle, comes all the way through, and Richmond able to get this out. Nearly a fast start for forward Madison on the road as they have another throw-in quickly coming.
Just watch as their kickers, about 4 players get caught ball watching, and Gebhard comes around the corner. In the end, it's a really good save from Harap.
Boyce plays it to the back post, Ferdy Sosa tries to keep this in play, but it is out for a goal kick.
And those are the types of movements that I was talking about in the open. As Cheney requires so much attention, it's a secondary runs that can really hurt teams. So if you're Gebhard, Boyce, Sosa, your secondary movement needs to be really clever as you come around the corner in the blind spot.
A foul and a free kick going back the other way, but what a chance early on for forward Madison and Derek Gebhard.
He hits it well, low and hard, gives you a chance when you have a player like O'Hara between the sticks, experience at its top class. Big time save.
O'Hara, the 30-year-old from Santiago, Chile, his first season with the Richmond Kickers. He'd been with Tormenta since 2018, even before they became a USL League One club. With USL League One starting in 2019, one of the most experienced goalkeepers, and they go from one experienced goalkeeper to another. Akira Fitzgerald, who's been with the Richmond Kickers for so long, now replaced by another veteran who has some of the most appearances in USL League One. Boyce, it was almost a missed touch, but it helped him out, and now he'll progress. Another League One veteran, formerly with Omaha. Payne, play it back for Timmy Mel. Here's Kroll and Ferdy Sosa.
Need to be really careful if you are Darren Sawatzky. If you're looking to high press, how compact can you be? Moments ago, that back four was about 15 to 20 yards behind your front line, especially with how talented this forward Madison side, they can really hurt you.
Throw-in coming for Richmond, a team that is winless in their last 4 in all competitions. 2 losses and 2 draws. They have 2 wins in their last 13 games. That encompasses all competitions. As Darren Sawatzky said about that game against Charlotte, he still has a resilient group. It was a back-and-forth game against the Independents. They're just looking for something at home as Emiliano Terzaghi is in an offside position.
And how happy is Darren Sawatzky to have this man back. 3-time league MVP, so clever. Talk about his talent, but also the leadership skills. Leader in his own right for the young players that surround him. How quickly can he get up the tempo? That's going to be a massive talking point for the Kickers. He's been out due to injury. Him and Ovinio's on that top line. Players that can be really special, all league players for this Kickers.
As Darren Sawatzky said, every day you're out, it's 2 days to get back for every day that you're out. So he's trying to get back to speed. This, though, his first start of 2024. He's made a couple of appearances in each the Jägermeister Cup and in league play. Darren Darren Sawatzki in his typical all-black outfit. That's what he's worn for years, even with his time with FC Tucson before coming here to Richmond. Mitch Osman, the captain for Forward Madison. Here's Jimmy Villalobos trying to break lines for Gebhard. Through for Boyce, it was just behind him, and it runs out of play. And here's a look at one of the bright young players for this Richmond Kickers side, number 38, Griffin Garnett. His first pro season is with the Richmond United under-17s, and the Richmond United under-17s won the ECNL National Championship last July. There's a handful of players that were on that team that are part of the game day roster today. But Garnett is committed to the University of Washington in 2025. Up over the top, Kroll. And back for Burns Shipman. Shipman with 19 clean sheets in his Madison history. That's most in club history, his second season with the club. Last year he played every minute.
It's a really good ball.
Here's Barnathan.
It's a bit of a different look for this Richmond Kickers side of four backs. So now you have Barnathan playing centrally next to Vaughn. And that will put Vinyals next to this man, Terzaki, and he has the freedom to go as he sees fit, go and search the game. It's a bit of a tactical change for Darren Sawatzki, and you have to think trying to get a clean sheet is going to be the top priority, especially here at home against a high-flying Forward Madison side.
Richmond has won just one game at home in the regular season in 2024. 1 win, 4 losses, 2 draws. The only team without a home win in the regular season is Central Valley Fuego, coached by Jermaine Jones. Vinyals got a block on that cross. Barnathan under pressure as Boyce stays with it and earns the foul. That's what Devin Boyce does for this Forward Madison team. We've seen him running all about, and you'll see that for as long as he's on the field.
Work great on both sides of the ball. That's what Boyce brings you. Second bite at the apple. He is the engine, the heartbeat of this Forward Madison side. Can play wide, can play centrally.
Boyce last year with Greenville, year before that with Memphis, and then spent 2 years with Omaha. Here's Stephen Payne in an attacking spot, asking for a deflection as it sails over the bar.
It's really good recognition here from Payne. As Cheney shows the feet, watch how he brings in Garnett, and that leaves a real estate on the back end. Schanfeld does just enough to throw off Payne, but those are the types of movements that as you have a number 9, he's very physical, likes to play with his back to goal. It requires so much attention. The outside backs need to be a little bit better in terms of their rotation and coverage for the kickers.
This is one back in a good area. Bursting forward is Bill Hart. The centering feed blocked by Villalobos and taken by Shipman.
That's where you want him to be a little bit more selfish. Bill Hart does really well to pick off this pass, but as he advances into the 18-yard box, pull the trigger. 13 minutes in. Test Shipman here, especially on the road.
Bill Hart, formerly with Tormenta, former teammate of Pablo Jara, now back with him here in Richmond. As this is played down the line, Macias could be in. Looking in field, Macias wins a corner kick for Forward Madison. He didn't have any runners there with him.
And he's a really clever player for Matt Glazer and company. Whether it's playing deeper or a line higher, has a very good feel of the space that he picks up. But as he advances higher up the field, that's when you are Cheney or Boyce making that near post run can cause all sorts of issues for that man and his back line.
A corner kick for Devin Boyce, first of the match. Boyce's delivery towards the near post, flick down. and cleared away. Macias will track this down for forward Madison, and they'll reset. It's been a bright start here for forward Madison the opening 13 minutes. Madison coming off that 2-0 loss against Knoxville. They've stayed on the road, going from Knoxville here to Richmond for this midweek fixture. And Matt Glazer played a heavily rotated squad. It was 5 changes into the starting lineup tonight. This is a similar lineup to what we saw a few weeks ago against Tormenta at home. This seems like it is the go-to lineup with maybe a few tweaks here and there for Matt Glazer. A big signing coming in the last couple weeks for forward Madison is Garrett McLaughlin, coming over from North Carolina FC, although he's not part of the 18 tonight.
And just look how this forward Madison side builds out with a 3-back system. So now you have Payne having the ability to push higher on that top line. So he plays high and wide. So if you're Schenfeld, your positioning needs to be spot on. See what Matt Glazer's trying to do, be expansive to open up gaps. And when those gaps open up, how quickly can they place in central locations and really ask questions of this kicker's backside.
Macias. Cheney got a touch on it. Here's Boyce. Villalobos collects. Villalobos trying to play it through. Was off Sosa, his own teammate. Vinyals and Richmond can reset. Kickers with the 3rd highest average possession in USL League One at 53%. This is floated forward and headed back to Burn Shipman. Here's Gebhard, but a win a loose ball. Gebhard throws on the brakes, still searching. Finds Devin Boyce. Here's Payne, trying to get end line. Payne looks to stand this up to the back post and could not keep that in play. Well, not a lot in this game so far for Richmond. How do they get on the ball a little bit more and disrupt what Madison's doing?
I'm having a very difficult time dealing with the pressure. That's the #1 issue for Darren Sawatsky. Too many times in moments like this, they're trying to play between it. There's nothing wrong with playing direct and Route 1 football, trying to win that real estate battle higher up the field. You need to be a little bit more calm as well. You get Vinyals and Terzaghi on the ball, this man as well, to be the outlets. As much of the time the Richmond kicker side has been on the ball, it's been horizontal, it's been backwards. No real progression when they're in possession.
A restart at the back with Hara. And here's Garnett for Schenfeld. Hart absorbing a bit of contact and earning a free kick for the kickers. Richmond has not beat Madison here at City Stadium since October of 2021. It was a 3-2 home win. Emiliano Terzaghi scored a brace on the day for the kickers. With this being the last meeting of 2024 between Richmond and Madison, after a draw earlier this season, whoever wins tonight wins the Henny Derby for 2024. So a little bit extra on the line.
These are the moments that I'm talking about for Richmond. Yes, you're on the ball, but now possession with a purpose. You need a vertical threat, someone making a selfless run, so you can open up a spot for Vinyals or Terzaghi to get on it. Forward Madison is very comfortable just sitting into a mid to low block.
Down the line for Bill Hart. Met there by Timmy Mell. Schenfeld just elects to keep it for Richmond.
The player that you're looking at to make those runs is Pineda. Top of your screen, number 15 in red. Making a darting run from outside in because Terzaghi, he wants to come deep. He wants to be part of the build out.
There's Barnathan. And James Vaughn. Now Richmond's electing to keep the ball. They'll look forward. It's flicked along and nothing really doing. Terzaghi will apply a bit of pressure on Shipman, who turns it over as Barnathan wins it back for the Kickers. Vinyals trying to drive forward. Vinyals will play it down the line. Terzaghi floats it in. It's headed forward, but nothing really on for the Kickers. Richmond trying to fix that home form. No better place to start than right now. Vinyals. And now Derek Gebhardt turning it out wide for Boyce. Mel back for Shipman. Looking centrally for Macias. Terzaghi on the chase, but Timmy Mel has it handled for forward Madison. Barnathan, he goes down. The referee waited just a second, but now a free kick on the way for the Kickers.
And Villalobos comes in awkwardly a bit late on this challenge. Barnathan gets there first, and it's a clear foul. Now, if you are the Richmond Kickers, you use this opportunity just to put this thing into the mixer. Caused a little bit of chaos between Shipman and his back line.
Again, it's Billhart and Pineda standing over it. It'll be Adrian Billhart. He'll go for goal. A dipping effort, and it's dealt with by Burn Shipman.
Audacious from Billhart to beat a keeper of a quality of Shipman, to go up and over the wall. Enough power and enough pace. But it is a bit awkward for the goalkeeper. Right off the grass as it approaches him, but he does well to recover the little bit of spillage he has.
This is one of the best pitches, not only in USL League One, probably in the country.
100%. It's like a carpet here. Watch out.
Turned over. Here's Terzaghi for Vinyals. And now Billhart, who is just behind him, back for Terzaghi! That's what he does best. Emiliano Terzaghi back on the score sheet. 1-0 Richmond.
Talked about transition moments, turning your defense into offense. Just watch the numbers higher up the field for the Richmond Kickers. As this ball rotates over, you think the chance is done, but Billhart, he's composed. As this back line for forward Madison, they're retreating, so where's the space? The cutback. Three-time MVP, back in the team sheet, back on the score sheet, and the Richmond Kickers 1-0 up in the first 20 minutes here at home.
Terzaghi's first goal since August of last year. The man who has scored the most goals in Richmond Kickers history. That is number 56 now for Emiliano Terzaghi with the Kickers. He's now in his 5th season with Richmond. And we talked to Darren Sawatsky about Terzaghi this week, and he says we don't expect him to be an MVP, but you can see that spark that he brings this team. As now Madison's looking to respond. Cleared away as far as Gebhard. It comes out for Villalobos. In for Boyce. Devin Boyce sends it wide. A decent response there for Madison.
You talk about the composure from a striker. So many times when players get in this area, they want to hit it first time. His first touch is everything. He gets it out of his body, so now that opens up the goal and simply just guides it into that near post. Class is permanent, as they say, Josh. Terzaghi, fantastic.
The first player in American soccer history to win an MVP 3 straight seasons from 2020 to 2022. Back for Hara. Well, again, now Madison having to play from behind. A game on the weekend against Knoxville. Ended up losing 2-0, a couple of second half goals that happened in quick succession. We'll see what the response is tonight from this forward Madison side. Turned over, here's Boyce. Infield for Cheney. And now Sosa. Stephen Payne. Boyce is asking for it, he'll get it. He'll try to drive it across. And again, it's Garnett to block it out.
But these are the types of runs from forward Madison that are causing all sorts of problems from outside in, from central locations. Passing players off has been lacking for the Richmond Kickers. Just watch how Boyce continued his run. If you're Vigneault, if you're Billhart, you have to communicate that or track your runner. Garnett has been really good at rotating over and clogging the passing lanes.
Boyce again standing over the corner kick for Madison. It's their second of the match. Boyce delivers, and the header's away. As far as Macias. Back for Boyce, who delivers it again. Comes off to the back post, and Gebhard. Gebhard looking to keep it for Madison. Ferdy Sosa. Sends it back in. Boyce, the centering header. It's denied again. It'll trickle out this time for a Madison throw. Now Richmond having to defend quite a bit after scoring, as Madison look for a response.
They need to get him more involved. Cheney, he's been very quiet for 27 minutes into this game. A player that has 4 goals, 2 assists on this season. The focal point for Matt Glazer and company. Young man can do everything, bring players in, create for himself, but he's been very quiet. You have to give credit to the 2 center backs for the home side and Darren Sawatsky.
Christian Cheney, the first forward Madison player to score double-digit goals in a season. He scored 11 in all competitions last year. They happen to all be in USL League One. Madison's looking for a bit of a spark offensively. Coming off that loss against Knoxville. Before that, though, it was a pretty big win against Union Omaha. Union Omaha has been pretty much the class of the league over the last few years, winning the title in 2021 with a few of the players on the field tonight. And they've been right up there this season as well. Forward Madison able to get that 2-0 win at home back on June 20th. Payne trying to cut it in, and Billhart took it away. Deflected pass, but it stays in play for Vaughn. Vaughn sending it back post. And it looked like that was a handball, and it was. Pardon me, that's Pineda.
It's a really good ball in from Vaughn. As Pineda just creeps in on that blind side. Between Kroll and Osman. And as he elects to go with his shoulder and try to bring it down, you need to head that back across where it came from, because you have Terzaghi by himself about 8 yards out.
Here's Garnett. As Richmond look to start things again. Once they settled things down, it looked to be a fast start for forward Madison. And they got on the ball a little bit. And you see what happens when they play the game that they want to play on their home field. That's not what Hara was looking for. The USL Summer of Soccer continues tonight. A doubleheader concludes Sacramento and Las Vegas coming up at 10:30 right here on CBS Sports Network. And some holiday soccer, the Switchbacks and FC Tulsa. It continues on Friday with Charleston and Birmingham. And a couple of games coming up on CBS on July 21st and August 3rd. Plenty of good action from across USL League One and the championship. Another throw-in coming for Richmond. An attacking area, maybe another long throw. It will be exactly that from Nathan Ani. Go to the end line looking for a flick. It goes out of play, and it's a corner kick coming. The first corner kick of the night for the Richmond Kickers. Right in front of the River City Red Army. The in-swinger from the corner, headed away at the near post. Gebhard trying to get on this for Madison. He does, and now he can look upfield. Boyce running with him. Other options coming. Gebhard carrying on. Still Derek Gebhard, and a challenge put in by Neil Vignals to win it back for Richmond. He was going coast to coast, and now maybe opening up back the other way for the Kickers. Moved out wide for Fitch. Cut back for Bill Hart. Dangerous on that left foot. Bill Hart saved right at Burn Shipman.
It's a fantastic run from Gebhard, but as he lets his play develop, Macias needs to stay wider. That opens up the passing lane, but as he cuts across, now Vignals is narrow and he can put this challenge in. If you're a secondary runner, you loop your run wide. Now Vignals needs to make a decision. Does he stay with the runner or does he go with the ball? As he cut down the angle, it's a fantastic challenge by your center midfielder. A little moments like that, if you're Matt Glazer, you're going to be a little bit frustrated with the lack of execution.
Floated forward again, looking for the run of Stephen Payne. Again, it's at the feet of Adrian Billhart, player that Darren Sawatsky said they've wanted now for a couple of years. He's trained with them in the past. Last year, though, electing to go to Detroit City. Before that, a couple of years with Tormenta. Now here in Richmond. Let's see how influential he is on set pieces. That dangerous left foot he possesses. Good move to find space down the line, and a chance to cross. Comes all the way through for Bill Hart, and he puts it wide. What a chance for the Kickers. It may have taken a deflection all the way out. It's a corner kick.
Exactly what you said, Josh. As the kickers have really settled into this game now, players have the ability to express themselves. Pineda's getting more involved, and it's the movement of Bilhart as he crosses across the face of goal, gets the right body position, but unable to put it on target. Give credit to Payne, does just enough to throw him off.
Another in-swinger coming. High lofted ball to the back post. Garnett was up for it just to keep it in play. Vignals back for Garnett, who couldn't get himself back on side. What a setting here at City Stadium. Opened up in 1929. The Kickers have been playing here for their entire existence. They started playing in 1993, the oldest continually running American soccer club. Them and the Charleston Battery, I believe, started the same year, but as Richmond says, they started on a Friday night. That was their first game. Charleston played on a Saturday, and that's why they can claim it.
Can't deny facts.
They went first.
There you go.
Scheduled the game on Thursday. Mel drives it across. Sosa taking off the ball. Simon Fitch stepping in. Quick passing, Vaughn, and now here come the Kickers. Terzaghi running right into Kroll. And play will be stopped. Kroll knew immediately it was incidental contact, but it's not going to make it hurt any less.
Don't think there's any ill will here from Kroll. As this ball gets popped into Terzaghi. Just stops his run. It's a sloppy first touch in the end, so now Kroll's turning. Does not feel good for the three-time MVP. Just watch the left shoulder area of Kroll as he turns, just catches him. Good to see Terzaghi on his own feet.
Kroll, another former Omaha player, part of that 2021 team that won the title. Almost looks as if Madison builds out of a three with Sosa, who has played a lot of outside back in his time, and Payne. He's get a little bit higher.
So now you afford the ability to be expansive and really penetrate in wide areas of the field through overloads. The problem is, for this forward Madison side, it's not clean enough, it's not quick enough.
Vignals. And back for Burn Shipman. Now lets it run through. Trying to pick out Christian Cheney, and it's off the mark. Cheney, 4 goals, 2 assists so far this season. He's in a bit of a goal-scoring drought as it is. He did score against Union Omaha, but that was the first goal that he scored since June 1st. Barnathan, touched out wide. Here's Fitch.
Fantastic pass.
Finding Vignals in the middle. Vignals will try to move it out wide. Didn't get enough on it to find Schenfeld. You were pointing it out, saying get the ball there. It just didn't quite work out for the Kickers.
Because you look how this forward Madison side likes to defend. They like to squeeze you towards one side of the field. So if you have a player that has the ability, watch out.
It's played down the line. The service coming in, but the whistle will stop everything. The flag is up for offside.
bit of frustration for the kicker side as Pineda's looking down the line. Needs to be a little bit better in terms of his discipline and timing his run. But going back the way, how do you break this forward Madison press? Just changing the point of attack. So if you're a player in the center of the park, how do you receive the ball? Your hips need to be open so you can go one side to the other. And that's when you get Vinyals in those half pockets. Vaughn as well has been a little bit more mobile underneath Terzaghi.
Sosa trying to play it forward. Throwing it forward, Madison. They want to go quickly down the line for Boyce. Flipped up over the top, Boyce. Battling with Ani. Another throw in for Madison. Boyce goes quickly with it. Kroll, Sosa, and Sosa commits the foul.
Second time now that we've seen an attacking player for Darren Sawatsky track back about 20 yards. First it's Terzaghi, then it's Bilhart. Those are the types of movements and effort that you need from your side. The team that's only won once here at City Stadium.
Sawatsky has to love how these first 40 minutes have gone. And negated some good Madison attacking moments. 3 shots, all of them on target for Richmond. 3 shots for Madison, just 1 on target. Moved out wide again. Bilhart trying to cut it in. Finds the pass for Schenfeld. Schenfeld puts his laces through it. And it's just wide, asking for a deflection, but it's a goal kick.
As Bilhart has pushed onto that right-hand side, left footer by Drake, so it's going to challenge, essentially looking to combine, and his vision, the ability to bring players in. Schenfeld takes a fantastic first touch. Is there a little bit of deflection? There is. I think it's Gebhardt that comes across. Or Madison get away with one here. But those are the types of movements that we keep talking about, Josh, changing the point of attack for the kicker. Starting on one side, and then you let, well, there's a weak-sided outside back come involved, or a winger play centrally. Darren Sawatsky needs to be very pleased with how good his side has been through 42 minutes.
Shipman long over the top. Cheney trying to play chase. Here's Boyce. Trying to play it down the line. It's a miss-hit pass because it was deflected, and it's out for a throw-in.
Great move.
On the turn, it's Adrian Bilhart. Options running with him. He'll go out wide for Terzaghi. Terzaghi splits 2. Here's Terzaghi cutting it back. Adrian Bilhart throws on the brakes. Shot from distance is blocked and then held onto by Shipman. What a sequence of play for the kickers, doing everything but scoring in the end. And Shipman shaken up here.
We talked about Terzaghi having the freedom to go and search the game, can beat players 1v1, but also his vision, very underrated. Good Bilhart, you need to take the strike there. As this ball comes back across, a bit of a spillage yet again from Shipman. But Terzaghi has every right to go for this. I don't think there's much in that. There is a little bit of a follow through that catches Shipman, but very soft in my opinion. You just see the fluidity, the confidence that the kickers have been able to play with higher up the field. Talked about leadership from Terzaghi, leading by example. We've seen him come central, we've seen him come to the feet, but also make those runs and beyond, and really testing forward Madison in that back line. It'll be a really interesting halftime talk for Matt Glazer and company.
Well, for forward Madison, they have so many fun little details that go along with the club, and it's a bit of a unique fact that they have a cow mascot, and one of them is named Rose Cowbell, named after U.S. Women's National Team player Rose Lavelle, getting a bobblehead in her namesake. Remember, Rose Lavelle went to the University of Wisconsin in Madison, so the fans vote on this name, named after Rose Lavelle, and she shouts out the club with a bobblehead, which I'd like to get my hands on as well.
I was about to say, where's ours?
That is, I'm not sure I've ever seen a cow bobblehead, but Rose Lavelle has one. So many little unique details with Madison. We documented that a few weeks ago when we did Madison's game against Tormenta. Whether it's the jerseys they have, their fans pretty much from all across the country and the world. It's a very noticeable club on social media as well, forward Madison.
Just let me know who I need to send my address to. There's some awesome cow bobbleheads.
All the way out of play as we near halftime. Richmond with the lone goal in this game through Emiliano Terzaghi, his first goal of the game, or pardon me, of the season, as we enter 3 minutes of stoppage time. Osman and Mel. Some pressure and a foul as Gebhard is tripped. Here's Kroll, turning it out wide. Verdi Sosa looking to cut it infield. Madison will reset, looking for one more good attacking opportunity in this first half. Gebhard on the turn. Gebhard, heavy touch and it's turned over. Gebhard's probably been Madison's most dangerous attacking player tonight, maybe Boyce as well. Garnett through the middle for Terzaghi. Not enough power on the header to move it out wide. Boyce, defended by Fitch. And Verdi Sosa. Or Jimmy Villalobos. Payne couldn't keep it under pressure from Schenfeld. Back out to midfield and Timmy Mal. Final minute of the first half. Chipped over the top, Gebhard trying to cut this back. It's out of play and it's a goal kick. Richmond can pretty much take this to halftime now.
Just seems to break down for this forward Madison side when they get to that final third, doing very well getting there. Needs to be a little bit more decisive at decision-making, combination, players that want to make things happen, that want to get on the ball. Boys, Gebhard as well have been the most likely, like you've said, Josh, but now you need to get number 9 involved, Cheney. Such an important piece as he occupies just so many players. Came in around that 18-yard box. The service has been bar to none for Matt Glazer. He needs to be a bit frustrated.
Just 11 touches tonight for Christian Cheney, and it's the least among every player on the field tonight. Well, the first half has come and gone, and who else but Emiliano Terzaghi has the lone goal tonight. His first start of 2024, and Richmond has a lead at the break.
I think you need to be very pleased if you are Darren Sawatsky with how your side has just approached this game in terms of the effort. First to 50, every 50-50 ball, and when you're in front of the net, that man does not miss. Big 45 for forward Madison. If you're Matt Glazer, a reaction is needed and needed quickly.
We are at the break from City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia. USL League One action. The Henny Derby between the Richmond Kickers and forward Madison. At the break, it's Richmond 1 and Madison 0. Stay tuned for halftime. Halftime from City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia. It is the Kickers that lead forward Madison by 1-0. It's always a great atmosphere here at City Stadium, and the group that sets the soundtrack for City Stadium is the River City Red Army. They were featured on the first League One edition of The Experience.
It's probably one of the most unique experiences out there, man. Like, regardless of where you're from, who you support, like, this is a safe space. Like, you can come here, have fun. Like, people have came from, like, Boston just to check out what the Henny Derby was.
I expect us to send them home unhappy, sad, long bus ride.
You gotta show people that, you know, yeah, you might like Madison for the jersey, but we play soccer here and we gonna win.
Really, we just want to beat the hell out of Madison.
They don't like to bring up that fact, but we won the league at their place. Yeah, they can't boast about anything else. They can boast about all the jerseys they won. They can boast about sweeping us last year. That's great, that's fine. We lifted the league at your place. Like, we beat you. So I've been coming to Kickers games since the first season in 1993, when I was yay high, 9, 10 years old, something like that. So I've always been coming here. It's what I've known. It's just what I like to do. City Stadium, my safe space, my comfort space. Something's not great in life. Come to City Stadium, and for at least 2-3 hours, things are better. Coming here to City Stadium, it's an old stadium. It's a little bit rough, but it's beautifully ugly. For me, when I come to City Stadium and we support the Kickers, I really feel like we're coming to American soccer's last dive bar. Here, it feels like we're connected to them, like we're the 12, like we're truly the 12th man.
I know them all, by name. I know their faces. After every game we go and greet them, so you end up making a personal connection, which makes it more meaningful for them, but also for ourselves.
It's almost like they're the 12th men for us. It's almost they're in the field with us. That's how it feels from the inside. And
on game day, the wall right here, in front of us, limits what that interaction can be. But I think the relationship goes outside of the stadium because you're out in public and players come up and talk to you.
We just heard a few comments there from Elliot Barr and some of the other members of the River City Red Army. You can watch the rest of the experience in Army in the original Soccer City USA on the USL's YouTube page. Here at halftime from City Stadium, it's 1-0 to the Kickers. Stay with us. Halftime from Richmond, Virginia, where the Richmond Kickers lead forward Madison by 1-0 at the break. Welcome back inside City Stadium with the former pro striker Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm Josh Eastern. Well, Ricky, was Madison that came out firing in the first few minutes. Richmond settled in. They have to be the happier of the two teams.
100%. Darren Zawadzki needs to be the happier of the two managers for numerous of reasons, Josh. Effort, efficiency, and they were just better. It seemed like they wanted to get on the ball a little bit more, and their effort, winning every 50-50 ball, and that's how you play at home in front of this packed house.
First half highlights, and it was Madison that got a few of the early chances, and Derek Gebhard was getting involved early.
And it was a movement from this forward Madison side, from central location, whether it was Boyce, whether it's Gebhard, but that's really all that we saw from forward Madison. Hara makes a fantastic save, and then you let the Richmond kicker side grow into this game with their pressure. Just watch the numbers, how quickly they get higher up the field. It's a sloppy pass, but then it all comes down to the composure. As Bill Hart comes around the corner, first touch out of his body, the backline's retreating, so where's the space? No one closes down Terzaghi, three-time MVP. You cannot give him that time and space from about 17 yards out. Makes no mistake about the finish. Off to the corner to celebrate 1-0 for the home side.
His first goal of 2024 in his first start of 2024. 43rd minute, Richmond on the move again.
And it all comes down from wide areas, getting into the byline, but also decision-making. Needs to be a little bit better from Bill Hart in that situation. Fantastic strike. As Terzaghi tries to get on the end of it, Shipman does just enough to deny the home side their second goal in the first half.
Well, Richmond looking to close out their second home win of 2024. Madison trying to end this two-game road run with a result. The second half is next. ready to go for the second 45 minutes of action tonight from City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia. This is USL League One action between the Richmond Kickers and Forward Madison. The teams switch ends as we get set to kick off this second 45 minutes. Just waiting on the referee's whistle. Rafael Santos. There it is, and away we go. 45 more minutes. The last matchup in 2024, at least in the regular season, between the Richmond Kickers and Forward Madison. Which means this is the last game of the 2024 Henny Derby. After a 2-2 draw earlier this season between Richmond and Madison, this is the rubber match. Madison won the Henny Derby last year, and now Richmond trying to take it back. It was all started by Kyle Carr, who is a Forward Madison fan and a member of the Featherstone Flamingos, and the River City Red Army's Elliot Barr, who we heard from at halftime. They were talking back and forth on Twitter and basically said, we want to bet on something. They said, let's bet on a bottle of Hennessy. And thus, here is the Henny Derby.
What a fantastic thing to bet on.
Here comes Madison down the line, Gebhard. And now Verdi Sosa. It's chipped forward, looking for Cheney. Gebhard couldn't get onto it as Billhard gets it away.
This needs to be quicker and more decisive for Forward Madison. As Gebhard turns around the corner, he picks up his head. You need to put that ball into a lot of traffic.
On the move, Macias slides it in behind for Cheney. The back heel, that's really all he could do with that. Billhart now for Richmond, finds a way out. Here's James Vaughn. Gonna chip it forward. Mel just getting something on it, and it'll be tracked down by Pineda, who ushers it out for a throw-in.
Especially to start the half. You cannot afford the ability just to play negative and give the kickers time and space to get numbers behind the ball. Darren Sawat's going to want to park the bus, get mid to low block, get every player in their defensive half. So if you are Forward Madison, how quickly can you unbalance the home side? That's going to be the question for this next 45 minutes.
A flag up for offside, a free kick back to Forward Madison. Richmond, they have not lost when they have led at the half this season in league play. Madison, they have not trailed at halftime all season, and it's interesting, they have failed to win any of their last 17 matches when conceding the first goal in league play. That goes all the way back to a win against Northern Colorado in August of 2022. A long time for Forward Madison. We'll see if they can buck that trend tonight. Sosa gets the cross away. Header down by Garnett. And again, it comes out to midfield. If you're looking to read up about the Henny Derby and how it got started, some of the origins behind it, how it's carried on, ProtagonistSoccer.com, a great write-up by Dan Vaughn. It was really in-depth to how the Henny Derby came to be. I just love this quote from it. The history of the Henny Derby will be written each season with different names, different faces, but the foundation will continue into the future unchanged. Two black soccer fans looking for a comfortable space and finding it in a rivalry. Today that continues, and in rivalries, there's heavy challenges, as there is here. And this will be the game's first yellow card, and really no doubt about this one, to Devin Boyce.
Bit of frustration from Boyce here. As this ball is going towards the sideline, there's no need to leave your feet. Comes to the backside of Schenfeld, gets none of the ball. Deserving of a yellow card, so now he needs to be really clever and disciplined in his positioning and what he decides to challenge into.
Schenfeld, who's shaken up and needing some treatment here. There is Elliot Barr in the stands, part of that Twitter exchange with Kyle Carr, setting up the Henny Derby. Says, I was on Twitter and this other black guy started talking stuff named Kyle, so we were joking back and forth. I hit him up. Whoever wins the Forward Richmond match gets a bottle of Hennessy. It was just between me and him. He said we were the only two that knew about it. And thus, the Henny Derby, 5 years on. And now it's 6th season, and Darren Sawatsky told us this week he doesn't know a whole lot about it, but he knows that the games between Madison and Richmond have become a little bit more intense since. Matt Glazer saying it's just about the game, really. We got to go out and perform. Our fans want to win it. We'll do everything we can to do so.
Especially when you get to this level, you play the game, you don't play the occasion, but yes, you want to give back to the fans. For both of these clubs, a match like this is extremely important. Now, how do you manage the moment and keep your heads at bay here for both of these sides?
In that halftime piece, we're talking about how this is played through for Shipman. Now, Richmond won the league in 2022 at Madison, October 8th of that season, a 1-0 win for the Richmond Kickers. Wayne Gordon scoring the lone goal on the night to win the league for Richmond, winning the Players' Shield in 2022. Richmond last year finishing 14 points out of a playoff spot. And when you look at the League One table right now, they are also in a top spot, sitting in 8th place in the live standings, but only 9 points coming into play tonight. And this their 11th match. As it always is in USL League One, seems every year it's so tight. If you include the live standings right now, from 10th, which is Chattanooga on 10 points, up to 5th place, which is Knoxville, it's 13 points. So just 3 points separating all of those teams. It's half the league right there. Gebhard holding it in the middle. He thought he was fouled. No whistle from the referee. And taken away again, Macias. Macias again looking for a whistle, and it never came. It's turned over. Lifted out wide for Boyce. Sliding challenge put in, and a throw into Madison. Floated long over the top. Gebhard making the run. Got a flick on it. Cheney moves it out wide. Boyce couldn't really keep it in play, so the referee will bring this back. It's a free kick coming for Forward Madison.
Set pieces are a fantastic way to kickstart the attacking side of the game when you have not created through the run of play. This timed from Barnathan catches Cheney. Really important moment here for Forward Madison. Plethora of options. Something off the training ground to stop and hit around the corner. Just put this thing to the back post and look for the knockdown ball. Now this is where maybe the inexperience in the youth can come from Richmond kickers. Individual duels. Stay tuned in throughout this whole play.
Macias and Boyce standing over it. Three-man wall for Richmond as well. Boyce delivers. It never got through for Mel. Gebhard flicks it forward and out of play. There are some Forward Madison fans in the crowd tonight making the trip from Wisconsin here for this one. Wanting to maybe celebrate a Henny Derby victory, but they're gonna need their side to find a couple of goals in this second half, the final 30+ minutes. Boyce. Here's Kroll, and now Sosa.
Good ball.
Able to break some lines. Boyce too strong, and through for Pablo Jara. River City Red Army making some noise tonight, banging on those drums and wearing those Emiliano Terzaghi jerseys. Here he is on the ball, flicking it through. Osmond went to ground. Mel has it covered for Madison. Forcing a turnover here, throwing back to Richmond. Aaron Sawatsky talking with assistant coach Mika Elovara. He's been his right-hand man his entire time here in Richmond. Sawatsky now in his 5th season as Richmond head coach, added chief sporting officer as well. That title after the 2020 season. Spent 1 year at Tucson, time before that with the Seattle Sounders U23s, which is why there are so many Washington natives. And a few years ago, there was this influence of Argentines that came into the club and players from the state of Washington. And people were saying that Richmond, Virginia is basically the middle point between the Pacific Northwest and Argentina in American soccer. Darren Sawatsky with that influence here in Richmond. Sosa. There's Kroll stepping in. Couldn't win it. Vinyals. Blocked by Macias. And Vaughn will reset at the back. Garnett and Jara. No clean sheets in league play this year for the Richmond Kickers. Madison, the second highest scoring team in league play. Sosa cuts it in. Sosa's service headed clear. Locked down by Fitch. Referee thought about it, but said play on. There's Bill Hart, who's been a tough player to handle tonight for Madison. Switch of play for Stephen Payne. Payne kept it in play. Here's Boyce. Again, driving forward, the shot blocked. Cheney trying to keep it alive. It was bouncing around Macias. He was in an offside position, but it was a big deflection. It's a corner kick. He had his back turned to the play. They put it in play quickly. Kroll headed away. Went through the lines, Villalobos. Floated forward once more. Cheney trying to bring it down. It's Gebhard. It's saved. Macias out of play. Two good looks for forward Madison and another save for Pablo Jara.
Fantastic action here from forward Madison. As you have Cheney, a stand-up number 9, has the ability to bring in players. I do think it's a sloppy first touch, to be fair, but Gebhard, so instinctual. If that's in the corner, it's 1-1, straight at Pablo Jara. No nonsense goalkeeping. Those are the types of action that you want to see a little bit more if you are Matt Glazer, pumping the ball into dangerous areas and having second runners to win the knockdown balls off of Cheney.
Select, the official match ball supplier of USL League One and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Terzaghi, tonight's goal scorer for Bilhart. Bilhart did get credit for that assist. It is his first regular season assist for the Kickers in 2024. Stoppage and maybe a chance for a substitution. It's the end of the day for Ferdi Sosa. And it will be Agustin Davila who enters now for forward Madison. A 25-year-old in his first season. Davila from Uruguay. He played last season with Guayaquil City in Ecuador. And it looks like another sub coming. This will be Zaka Moran.
And substitutions for Richmond.
It's the end of the night for Antonio Pineda. It'll be Zaka Moran to enter, the 28-year-old Argentine. Fourth season with Richmond. Time previously with River Plate. An appearance at the Under-17 World Cup in 2013 with Argentina. A good experience entering now.
Does seem like for forward Madison, Davila will play on that front line with Cheney, so Gebhard will play at the left mid position. 4-4-2 in structure for Matt Glazer. He affords the players higher up the field the ability and the freedom to go and search the game. On the other side for the Richmond Kickers, Moran will come in centrally. He's a player that once again on the ball likes to combine. So him, Vaughn, and Vinyals are players that are going to want to see this game out and get on the ball and try to get that second goal.
Vinyals looking to move it into the corner for Bilhart. It's touched out of play. It's a corner kick. Now Adrian Bilhart standing over. A corner kick for Richmond. It'll be an in-swinger on the way for the Kickers. Goes all the way to the back post over everybody's head. And a bit of a waste, to be honest, for Richmond. Madison finding a few chances a minute or two ago. They really haven't tested Pablo Jara enough in this game, and another foul in the middle. Why has it been so difficult tonight for Madison?
Just lack of decision-making and lack of understanding the areas that you're trying to play into. Just watch the backtracking from Terzaghi. You lead by example. Yes, you scored the goal, but also staying like for like with Macias, and he should see yellow for that. Kicks the ball away after the play is done. Frustration from the number 10 for forward Madison. Has not been as influential as he would like. He does, in the end, pick up a booking.
The yellow card goes to Aiden Macias.
I think that's a really interesting booking now for Matt Glazer. He needs to make a decision, especially as Moranis came on for the Kickers. 3 players that want to impose their identity in central locations. It's going to be a nice little battle, so something to keep an eye on as this game progresses deep into the second half.
Back for Shipman, who slides in to get it away. Ani, bit too much there. And a free kick coming for forward Madison. Davila.
Uncool happy hour featuring $4 non-alcoholic hazy IPA starts at the 70th minute. Visit one of the 3 Knox bars on the concourse to enjoy.
Villalobos. His pass blocked. Now Richmond can look upfield. Simon Fitch. The Richmond native coming forward. Bill Hart towards the near post. It was Terzaghi sliding in and nearly getting a touch on it. He just pops up everywhere.
His movement in and around that 18-yard box is what separates him. Just so clever, as at the last second he slashes across his individual marker. Any sort of deflection on this thing, it's a nightmare for Shipman. As he's going towards his near post, unable to react quick enough. Fortunate enough for him, no touch from Terzaghi. He's been really impressive after getting his first start and rewarding Darren Sawatsky and his trust in the 3-time MVP.
Don't forget, this is the first of 2 games coming up tonight on CBS Sports Network. It'll be Sacramento Republic and the Las Vegas Lights at 10:30 Eastern Time. Double header to start the USL Summer of Soccer. Chipped forward. Macias. Macias down the line for Payne. Lofting it up, looking for Cheney. Cheney trying to keep that with his back to goal. Couldn't get it done. Cleared out to midfield, and Osman back for Shipman. Again sent forward. Here's Payne. Cuts it back for Cheney, and he skies it. This has not been his night.
And it's the right idea from Payne. As your number 9 is coming from a deep line position, you need to hit it so he can run onto it, hit it first time. And the ball's a little bit behind him. It's a really difficult technique to get his hips around it. And as he's a little bit off balance, just watch his shoulders as he approaches this thing. Leaning back, and that's why he goes up and over the crossbar. Not clean contact whatsoever. But it's been better over the last 2 minutes for forward Madison. Just a willingness to be direct and vertical with their runs has pinned back the Kickers deep in their defensive half.
As we were mentioning, the USL Summer of Soccer just kicking into full gear. Doubleheader tonight with Sacramento and Las Vegas. This is played through the middle for Cheney. He slipped. He tried to keep it alive. And again, nothing doing for the Madison striker tonight, but it's turned over. And down the line for Boyce, who tries to fire it forward. This will run out of play. And it's another corner kick for forward Madison. And whoever gets to take this for Madison gets the pleasure of being right in front of the River City Red Army. It's like Cameron Indoor. The crowd's right on top of you. Davila comes over to take it. Getting an earful. Looks to play this to the back post and maybe tried for an Olympic goal, but instead it's out of play, and he'll hear it from the crowd again.
Just lacking that last bit of quality. Every single player in a forward Madison jersey. Coming into this match in league play, 18 goals scored, 6 conceded. Tells you how clinical and how ruthless they've been in front of net. Has not been the case thus far.
"20 minutes to go, and a stoppage here. Looks to be subs on the way for forward Madison. Looking for some reinforcements late on. Christian Cheney making a slow walk off the field. He will be one of those coming out. Juan Galindrez will replace him. Wolfgang Prentice will also enter for forward Madison. You can see the frustration from Cheney as Gebhard, Cheney, and Payne all exit. Juan Galindrez and Sharif J will enter with Wolfgang Prentice, a triple change for Matt Glazer. They've now used 4 of 5 available subs. They still have one more window to utilize. Here's Kroll. Prentice through the middle. Madison will keep it. Wolfgang Prentice, the loanee from the Oakland Roots. Heavy touch to the end line and out of play.
As Prentice comes into this game, he's going to play at the left wing back position. Jay will play at the right wing back position. And Galindrez has the ability to play centrally. A different look going forward. For now, forward Madison will not have that out-and-out number 9. They're looking for a lot of rotations to try to get this equalizer as we approach 18 plus remaining here.
Just a good hard challenge put in by Timmy Mel, sending Neil Vinyals to the ground. Osmond looking for Jay as Barnathan heads it out. Richmond looking for their 3rd win of the regular season. Madison trying to avoid their first loss of the regular season. Here's Kroll for Boyce. Lone unbeaten team left. I'm trying to drive forward. A deflected cross coming through. It's cleared away. And to further that for forward Madison, the only unbeaten team, every other team has multiple losses in league play. This has been quite a run for forward Madison, just off of that club record, 8 games unbeaten in all competitions. That came to a close over the weekend with the loss against Knoxville. And a player down for Richmond, and that is Emiliano Terzaghi. He's been trying to come back from injury all year long. He's only made a handful of appearances. This is his first start. This is the longest that he has played. I wonder if this will be the end of the day for a 3-time MVP.
I think it is. I have to think that maybe cramping just came into play. Really difficult to play at this tempo for 75 minutes when you've been out as long as he's been out. Just see how influential he can be on both sides of the ball. Something that is really underrated. First, Terzaghi is his work rate, the ability to backtrack, to be that first line of pressure for Darren Sawatsky. He's a manager that needs to be very pleased with what he's seen from his star boy.
2 subs coming, Chandler O'Dwyer and Justin Suko, the former forward Madison player. Terzaghi being helped off. The other player coming out will be Maxi Schenfeld. But it was Emiliano Terzaghi that influenced this game back in the 22nd minute. The lone goal as Terzaghi exits to applause.
The composed finish as he gets himself into an advantageous opportunity. His first touch just sets him up. Out of his body, the second touch rockets low and hard to that bottom corner. First goal of the season, fantastic shift from Terzaghi.
First start, first goal. And Suko will enter along with O'Dwyer. Suko spent 2021 and 22 with forward Madison. His second season with Richmond. For Chandler O'Dwyer, his third season with Richmond. He did win a USL League Two title back in 2021 with the Des Moines Menace. A handball and a free kick coming for forward Madison. You can see the urgency that they're starting to play with since those subs have come on. Mel lofting it forward. Galindrez. Blocked by Garnett. Galindrez again. Sending it in. A commanding header away. It was Ani up for it for the Kickers. Moved out wide for Wolfgang Prentice. Prentice sends the cross away, headed away. Another shot from distance, it's over the bar. Davila trying his luck, and again, Madison continue to search.
A bit more intense from this forward Madison side. As you're playing more vertical, getting the ball into a dangerous area, the secondary action, his bounce is all off. He's leaning back. His first touch isn't the best as it pops back up on him. That's why he goes up and over the crossbar. But he's been active, Davila, since coming onto this pitch.
If you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Thank you, Richmond, for your support.
Gonna play through the middle. Davila. Kroll. Davila getting a touch to it. Sends it through for Galindrez. Ani sliding in. A kind deflection for Galindrez. Trying to put it in the path of Jay. It's saved by Hara. Madison coming forward. And again, Richmond is there to slow that progress.
See the frustration from Galindrez. As he does well, there's no need if you're Garnett. You cannot step there because now you leave yourself vulnerable going back the other way. And this is just pure effort from Galindrez, never saying die attitude. As this ball falls kindly to Jay. How good of a save is that from Hara? Comes off his line quickly, makes himself big, closes down the angle, and that says it all for forward Madison. Not been clinical enough in front of net.
An injured player here. Hara's been forced into action a couple of times tonight. He's been up to the task each and every time. Such a well-supported team here at City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia. 5,500, a little bit more than that at the match tonight. Even on a Wednesday, July 4th Eve, if you want to call it that, which is just July 3rd.
Why are you trying to overcomplicate things, Josh?
It's a holiday weekend.
There you go. That's better.
Happy 4th of July to all celebrating.
Plans?
We got the USL on CBS
There you
Sports
go.
tomorrow night,
Over
Ricky.
soccer. Silly question,
At
right?
Colorado Springs against FC Tulsa, 9 p.m. Eastern. Watch your fireworks, grill some hot dogs, grill some burgers, watch some soccer.
There you go.
It's
Doesn't
like a
get
great
better than
day.
that.
10 minutes to go. Richmond leads 1-0. A win tonight would mean that Richmond win the Henny Derby in 2024. A 2-2 draw back on April 13th between Madison and Richmond. And a yellow card will go to Zaka Moran here.
Bit silly from Moran as the play is done. Just kicks it away. Same thing as we see Macias get into the book. Good in terms of the consistency from Rafael Santos.
It's chipped out of play. A throw in for Madison, a bit of a cheap giveaway from the kickers. And we get some late drama tonight at City Stadium. Prentice.
Just no movement on the front line for forward Madison. Everyone wants the ball to feet, especially as we're approaching 9+ remaining here. Need to make a selfless run, pull out a center back because every player in a red jersey is behind the ball. And that's exactly what you can expect for the remainder of this match. Trying to frustrate forward Madison, so you need to have movement. You need to pull players out of position. You need to be a little bit more decisive, and your tempo needs to be higher.
You talked about earlier in this half, Richmond just kind of sitting back in that mid to low block. Well, they have no shots in the second half. Really have not threatened at all, but they do have their goal. And right now, that might see them to 3 points. But Madison continue to press forward. Kroll taking off the ball. It runs into the corner and out of play. A corner kick for forward Madison. This is their second of the half. Devin Boyce again to take for forward Madison.
It's a lot of bodies right in front of Hara. So that's where Boyce is trying to put this ball right on that 6-yard box to cause a little bit of chaos and a nightmare.
Boyce to the near post, looking for the flick, and they'll do it again.
And if he elects to go to that near post, it's a flick on that can really hurt teams.
Stoppage before he can take it. It's another in-swinger, flicked along. It's right in front, bouncing around the box and headed out again. They just can't direct it on goal. It's another corner kick for Madison, this time on the far side. And Davila will hear it once again. A third successive corner kick. Davila delivers, back post, Prentice. He overhits it again. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Pablo Hara taking his time to put it back in play. Found the middle, a free kick to the kickers. Madison looks to be preparing maybe one more sub. Play down the line, Vaughn. Comes infield for Bill Hart, trying to return it. Instead, it's back for Burn Shipman.
Great.
Bill Hart trying to flick it around the corner. He was pulled back by Kroll. And it looks like it will be a yellow card to Jake Kroll.
Bill Hart has been the best player for the kickers on the field. Comfortable in tight spaces. His work rate, the ability to run in beyond. Been a nightmare all evening for forward Madison and their back line.
Correction. Yellow card assessed number 16, Jake Kroll. And substitution for
Substitution coming. John Murphy enters, the 24-year-old in his first season with Madison, formerly with Tormenta, Omaha, and Loudoun. He replaces Jimmy Villalobos. Final sub of the night for the Mingos. Bill Hart delivers, again, over everybody's head. You can see the amount of players forward. That just shows you where this game is at and what Richmond is aiming for.
Just trying to keep everyone back, not trying to get caught in transition moments. Defensively, that's a top priority for Darren Sawatsky, trying to get their second win here at home.
That won't get it done for forward Madison. All the way out of play. And again, Hara in no rush. Richmond will not play their next game for the next 10 days. It'll be a road trip to Chattanooga to take on the Red Wolves. That'll be in league play. Still 3 more match days to go in the USL Jägermeister Cup. Richmond do have some ground to make up in the East Division. They're only 2 points back of Greenville. Might be in with a shout for the best second place team in the ongoing cup competition in USL League One. Madison find themselves in 3rd place as well, and 2 points off of Lexington in the Central Division. Madison will also have 10 days off, but they will play the next 3 games at home. The first game will be against Central Valley Fuego, who is currently beating Northern Colorado Hailstorm by a 1-0 at nearing halftime. Picked up by Jay. Jay looking infields. Now have to move it out wide. Maybe something on for forward Madison. Red jerseys all over. Now space, and it's rolled in. It's cut out. And a corner kick. Well, he tried to deny it. Instead, it is given. Madison will go to the corner flag again.
Good bit of play here for forward Madison on that wide area. And it's a really clever ball from Jay, trying to squeak it into that near post, but how good have the kickers been in box defending? Winning their individual duels positioning has been really impressive for a side who has conceded 17 coming into tonight.
Arthur Boschwa will come on, the South African forward, to replace James Vaughn. The 7th corner kick of the night for Madison. Davila again. This one towards the near post, it's flicked in! Juan Galindrez with a flair for the dramatic again, and Madison equalize in Richmond. This is what the Heady Derby's all about.
We talked about the importance of set pieces, especially on the road. Enough pace, enough venom from Davila. Galindres gets away from his individual mark. He does not need to hit it hard. Just help it onto that far post. Enough traffic in front of Hara. Nothing he can do. And you see what it means for forward Madison, who's been knocking on the door this second half, finally have their breakthrough in the 90th minute. Second goal of the season for Galindres. None bigger on the road here.
A tough one to take for Darren Sawatsky in Richmond as we are into 8 minutes of stoppage time. Galindres picks up a yellow card for taking off his jersey. Now could Madison go on and win this potentially? Galindres scored a game winner back on June 8th against his former club Chattanooga. As this comes forward again, it's going to be a foul. Davila colliding with Hara. And Hara is down.
This game has changed completely when Matt Glazer dipped into his bench to bring the substitutions on in terms of the quality, but impact and the willingness, just the energy has been a lot better in this second 45 minutes. I'll tell you what, it's a bit close in my opinion. Hara does not securely have possession of the ball. There is a little bit of contact, but you have to call it.
You go back to that corner kick. The two previous corners in this half from that corner flag, well overhit by Agustin Davila. This time he goes near post, and it works out. Richmond keep it in play. Darren Sawatsky pleading for some pressure higher up the field. Bosch with the only red shirt in the frame. Now Madison look to play out. Prentice touched away. Challenge put in on Davila. A free kick to forward Madison. Chandler O'Dwyer into the book.
This ball is gone as he catches Macias. No play on the ball whatsoever as he joins Moran as the two players for the kickers in the book.
A dramatic end to the 15th Henny Derby. Gonna roll it in behind, it's broken up, and it's a foul against Madison. Richmond want to go quick with it. Madison applying some pressure still high up the field. Vinyals trying to move it out wide. The referee will bring it back for a free kick. And Richmond want to go quickly. The referee will not allow it. Still a player down. It was Chandler O'Dwyer. Vinyals, who scored a brace over the weekend in the Jägermeister Cup. Here's Neil Vinyals. Flicked through, Boschwood run the other way. Galindres trying to work it around the corner. It runs out of play. Fitch for Bill Hart. Back for Simon Fitch. Loose ball in the middle. The kickers keep it. Bill Hart. Now it's Madison's turn to do some defending. Zaka Moran. Belhart plays it through. He gets it back. Neil Vinyals, Suko, and the flag is up. Offside the call. Boy, that would be a story if Suko could find a game winner against his former club.
Fantastic bit of play as well from Vinyals and Belhart. Creating little triangles, but Suko just needs to be a little bit more disciplined at understanding the line. This time's his run.
Kroll bursting forward. He was cut down. Belhart catches him. And a yellow card to Adrian Belhart.
Transitional foul. This touch from Kroll is really good as he cuts down the angle, gets in front of Belhart. Unable to make any sort of play on the ball. Takes all of the man and finds himself in the book.
A yellow card has been assessed to Richmond number 20, Adrian Belhart.
Davila and Boyce stand over the set piece. And Madison find a winner. Davila swings it in. Commanding header to get it away. Sharif J chases it down. Floated forward again. Dwyer tries to get it out, and he does. Here's Zaka Moran. Sliding challenge put in. Throw into Richmond. Throw to Madison with a minute left. This would keep their unbeaten start to the regular season alive. With an even 5 wins and 5 draws. Kroll comes in field for Boyce. There's Sharif J, options in the middle. The cross comes in, Galindres flicks it through. Second ball picked up, put back into the mixer and cleared. Wolfgang Prentice curls it in. Pablo Jara is there. And Jara will distribute, why not? Mitch Osmond on the chase, and back for Bird Shipman. Is there one last attack in this game? We're through the 8 minutes. Macias progressing. Macias lays it off. Galindres, here's the shot, and it's wide. A chance for Davila. The game was on his left foot as the referee takes a peek at his watch. We play on. Belhart. Vinyals. Richmond might get the last chance. Vinyals. It's moved out wide for Fitch. His service into the back post. It's knotted down. Cleared away. Who will get to this loose ball? Madison will. This ball stayed in play. Here's Neil Vinyals. Another challenge put in by Mel. It's a free kick to Richmond as we are in the 100th minute. Bodies flying everywhere.
It's the third time that Mel has been involved in a really difficult challenge. As Jay sees yellow.
Yellow card has been assessed.
See what it means to every single player on this field. Minute 1 to minute 100. Intensity has never wavered.
That yellow card went to Mel, not Jay. But a free kick here for Richmond. You'd expect this is the last action. As it's sent in, all the big bodies forward, it's in! The Richmond Kickers win the Henny Derby!
You put the ball in a dangerous area, you give your side a chance. And this is not tactics, this is X and O's. Who wants it more? You versus me. And in the answer, it's O'Dwyer. The way that he rises up, snap header over his right shoulder. Nothing that Shipman can do. Big time players make big time plays at big moments. None bigger than this for O'Dwyer to give the Kickers all 3 points here at City Stadium.
Is there one last roll of the dice? There is not! The Richmond Kickers are victorious! A dramatic win at City Stadium. Chandler O'Dwyer, the hero, and the Kickers win the Henny Derby. They give Forward Madison their first loss in 2024. What a night here at City Stadium. Late into stoppage time with basically the last touch of the game. Elliot Barr will be smiling tonight with a bottle of Hennessy in his hands. Forward Madison, their first loss of the season, a late winner for the Richmond Kickers. It finishes Richmond 2 and Forward Madison 1. We'll come back and wrap things up right after this. The celebration is on tonight in Richmond, Virginia, as the Richmond Kickers take down forward Madison by 2-1. What a game this turned out to be. And with basically the last kick of the game, the Kickers win it. Let's look back at the full 90 minutes with our full-time highlights. And it was Richmond getting on the board first, winning the ball back in a good area, and good things happen.
And it's an extra ran, it's an extra pass. First it's Vinyals, then it's Bill Hart, and then it's your 3-time MVP, Terzaghi. No mistake about the finish. Fantastic composure. Even better first touch and off to the corner. Richmond Kickers 1, forward Madison 0.
First start of the season, first goal of the season, and right to the end, 90th minute. And the equalizer for Juan Galindrez.
And it's the movement before this ball comes in. A fantastic shape from Davila. And just watch his technical, the acrobatics from Galindrez over his left shoulder to get his shoulders to put it on target. But yet, this game was not done. We talked about the importance of set pieces. Fantastic ball in for Vinyals. You give your side a chance, and O'Dwyer wants it that much more. Fantastic header, nothing that Shipman can do. 90th minute +8. Richmond Kickers steal all 3 points and keep it here at home.
Chandler O'Dwyer, the hero, the full-time stats tonight. 2 goals, 90th minute or later. I believe that was the first shot of the whole entire second half for the Kickers. It's the game winner.
This game was won and lost in both boxes. Who was going to defend better? Who was going to be ruthless and execute in the attacking third? You talked about the effort. It was better for forward Madison. They were the better side in the first 45, but Richmond Kickers started this game fantastically, and in the end, they had the last laugh, and they are the winners to keep all 3 points.
The celebrations are on tonight in Richmond. The River City Red Army gonna have a pretty good holiday tomorrow. And Chandler O'Dwyer, high fives all around. Darren Sawatsky, a very passionate coach. He wants to win so much for this city and for this club. And they do get a big win tonight. Well, that will do it for our coverage. Don't forget, stay tuned. Coming up in about 15 minutes, the second game of our doubleheader. It's Sacramento Republic and Las Vegas Lights. But that'll do it for our coverage tonight from Richmond. A dramatic Henny Derby that the Richmond Kickers win. For our entire crew and broadcast partner Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long as the Richmond Kickers win the Henny Derby. Good night from Richmond.